Last year, Zwift Academy opened its doors, launching a groundbreaking worldwide talent search to find the next pro rider for Canyon SRAM racing. The competition exceeded all expectation. Over 1,200 women from 51 countries signed up to take the challenge in Zwift. In a truly grand finale, on the island of Majorca at Canyon SRAM's training camp, Leah Thorvaldsen of Little Rock, Arkansas, was crowned 2016 Zwift Academy champion and the newest member of Canyon SRAM Racing. This year, it could be you.
Oh wow, I could have a shot at a pro contract, but it's for anyone. It's a huge step forward in your own fitness, and so it's not all just about the one person who's going to get a pro contract. It's a win for everyone who's involved.
Zwift Academy is this great program where Zwift is trying to get the women more involved. It's just this huge, to me, a great community. There's women coming up going, I get how this could fit into my life.
What I think is so nice about Zwift Academy, I really think that it was inspiring lots of women to take part in this adventure. Maybe they've gone far beyond their own expectations.
How far I got in Zwift, there were 1,200 females that joined, and there were 100 females that finished Zwift, and I can't believe I was one of them.
Yes, it's hard. Come on, you can do it, you know, just do your best. Because it's not just the physical side, it's the determination and to boost your confidence in anything else you do, not just cycling.
Find out how strong you really are. Find new friends from around the world. Find out if you have what it takes to go pro.
Do not wait, just follow your dreams.
Be the best cyclist you can be. Head over to academy.zwift.com to find out more and sign up today.
here. He backs it off, sits in that slipstream. Looks like we've got Dunn and Ockerby here in together. So I reckon there's going to be a bit of shake and bake here.
1 kilometer to go. Actually, 600 meters to go. It's stretched out. Everyone is still in this group. Pat Shaw is heading up the front now. 7 watts. He's popping an early power up. He has got the legs. He's feeling good. And he is going with about 500 meters to go. Pat Shaw, 13 watts per kilo. Aero power up being popped. He's got to keep behind Anthony Vegan Porsche, Ockerby, and everyone else. Can he do it? Here goes Pat Shaw, but we're looking further behind. The pace is through the roof. Here comes Aaron Dunn on the right side. He's got 3 seconds up to Pat Shaw, but Pat Shaw is nearing that finish line. But as we look over the shoulders, the riders are coming back. It's going to be on the line, as it's going to be Pat Shaw taking it. Woo. Pat Shaw, where's his wheels? Aaron Dunn.
Nice work. Nice work there, Paddy. So
last year, Zwift Academy opened its doors, launching a groundbreaking worldwide talent search to find the next pro rider for Canyon SRAM racing. The competition exceeded all expectation. Over 1,200 women from 51 countries signed up to take the challenge in Zwift. In a truly grand finale, on the island of Majorca at Canyon SRAM's training camp, Leah Thorvaldsen of Little Rock, Arkansas, was crowned 2016 Zwift Academy champion and the newest member of Canyon SRAM Racing. This year, it could be you.
Oh wow, I could have a shot at a pro contract, but it's for anyone. It's a huge step forward in your own fitness, and so it's not all just about the one person who's going to get a pro contract. It's a win for everyone who's involved.
Zwift Academy is this great program where Zwift is trying to get the women more involved. It's just this huge, to me, a great community. There's women coming up going, I get how this could fit into my life.
What I think is so nice about Zwift Academy, I really think that it was inspiring lots of women to take part in this adventure. Maybe they've gone far beyond their own expectations.
How far I got in Zwift, there were 1,200 females that joined, and there were 100 females that finished Zwift, and I can't believe I was one of them.
Yes, it's hard. Come on, you can do it, you know, just do your best, because it's not just the physical side, it's the determination and to boost your confidence in anything else you do, not just cycling.
Find out how strong you really are. Find new friends from around the world. Find out if you have what it takes to go pro.
Do not wait, just follow your dreams.
Be the best cyclist you can be. Head over to academy.zwift.com to find out more and sign up today.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Zwift Community Live broadcast of the KISS EU race. Out on Zwift, riders will be doing 2 laps today of the London Loop. Riders have gotten out on course actually already for the A category. We will be covering the A category as well as the C category. We'll try and jump into the B and D category as well. We do have something a little special for you for those over at Facebook. Now, we are streaming out to Mixer as well as Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube right now. But we do have something for those that are over at Zwift's Facebook right now. You can go ahead and as we go through the race today, you can make a prediction actually as to what you you think is going to happen for the racing in the KISS race today. Well, we're looking at this reaction poll. As you can see here, if you think there's going to be a solo attack up Box Hill, you go ahead and hit that love. You can laugh about it for a bunch sprint, and as well as vote for whether or not you think that's going to happen, or if it's going to be a breakaway group that'll have just a few riders in it. So if you'd like to vote over for your reactions over at the reaction poll, we also have the integration going on with our social media. So if you tweet at us, we can bring in anything that you do tweet at us. A quick little example of that throughout the broadcast. You can bring your questions or comments at us by tweeting at Z Community Live. As you can see here, check out the KISS Road Race at Go Zwift Race Broadcast live now. Predict who's winning, etc. With the reaction polls is what that was talking about. So at Z Community Live, in order to grab our attention and get into the broadcast, we can also grab your comments at Facebook. And I am watching the chats at Mixer as well as Twitch and YouTube. So let's go ahead and get right into the live racing and what the rules are for the KISS EU race today, as riders have held out onto the course for the A category that we are looking at right now. A category riders are going to be able to hold 4.0 watts per kilogram or higher for that category. For those of you who do not know and are new to this whole world of racing, it is actual real riders on real bikes from their pain caves, from their homes, from wherever they are set up on Zwift with a real bike, putting real power into the pedals right now. And that power is shown to you in the upper left-hand corner here, 276 watts, 175 beats per minute. Watts are the power measurement that moves these avatars forward according to the weight that they have put into the game. Some awesome algorithms that have been set up by Zwift to try and simulate real-world riding as much as possible. We do have T. Beasley up at the front here, coming out of the UK, hammering away with a little bit of attack up in the 7 watts per kilogram. Looks like he was throwing down a solid 450 or so for just a moment. Got about a 1 second gap. As you can see, all the gaps here on the right-hand side for all the A category riders. As you can see the A there in the name. Next to the names, Zwift recently added the abilities to make sure you only see riders that are in your event, actually, for the race. As you can see here today, all we see is A riders around them. Right now, we do have the C category about to take off, actually. It does have 41 racers in that as well. I think there are well over 100 racers that did sign up today for the race. Let's go ahead and we'll head on over to these boys and girls in the C category in just a moment. We definitely want to see what happens on this uphill grind here toward the square before they head on over toward Box Hill for the climb. We do see here getting on Ganyan, like a canyon, we like to say, from Team ODZ here, sitting in 3rd place, up in that 6-7 watts per kilogram on the front. It is going to be Burton, though, with a solid 7 watts per kilogram, riding for that Friday Criterium team. And the TFC, they have adopted that CRCA kit, as you can see here. Has about a 2 second gap here, maybe trying to get away a little bit before they even start the climbs. Going to be an interesting day for him if he is able to cause any kind of a gap, because the groups in Zwift can draft off each other for sure. So McIntosh here sitting right on the wheel of Gagnon. There's a little gap here. No draft, and Burton and Gagnon getting away here. That's going to be a definite big red flag for a lot of the chasers. This is some very strong riders off the front right now, and they may be able to grab a gap and even hold it up Box Hill. But Kiff here now, 4.5 watts per kilogram or so, 157 beats per minute, pulling along the rest of the group who are drafting on him. Now, if you see at the bottom of the screen here, there is about a 3 meter difference between him and M. Curley coming out of Australia. And Curley there at 3.5 watts per kilogram can sit in on 5.0 there and get a nice draft and not have to work quite as hard. Now he's working his way to the front, though, it looks like. Oh, at least maybe just grabbing on the wheel real quick there. Fleetwood there from Vision Cycling able to grab back on as well. We do have our lead group getting established here. We do have Gavin Richardson here trying to get back on terms. 428 watts from Innovation Cycles, which is adopted the Alienware kit in game. And Wallace there coming right around him, as well as Jay Kiff here in the group. So this will be a chase group 2 seconds back. I think they will get back on terms, but they're going to have to burn a few matches in order to make that happen. The C Riders, I'll show you the C Riders right now. We are getting a question. These are C Riders. No, those are not C Riders. This is the front end. As you can see on the right-hand side over here where my cursor is, you can see all the A's there. next to their names. These are all A category riders. The C category riders are right here. So we do see a Barry here making a chase as they're heading into the underground here, or through the tunnel here. Baltimore as well, 3.1 watts per kilogram out of the UK. It does look like there is a lead group that has somewhat established itself with S. Pratt, as well as the ZZRC rider here, S. Burgess. Riding actually, excuse me, for Tigger, and has done a ZCRC, it looks like, recently. A lot of swapping going around in this C category race. As we can see, it is a solid group of about 15 riders or so on the front of the C category. Now, why are there different categories? Some of you might be asking. It's so that cycling made social is what Zwift is all about. And in these races, it's all about finding others around your ability level to push you to your limit in the racing and give you a solid competition to fight against. And so Baltimore here, 2.7 watts per kilogram for the C category. They should be able to put out around 2.5 to 3.2 watts per kilogram. Let's just go ahead and go through all the categories. If you are interested in getting involved in Zwift racing, you can log into the game. You can find an event that is a race on the right-hand side of the events list, or through the Zwift mobile link. You can also find events there as well. And if it is a race, it'll say in there, it'll say the different categories you can jump into, and then you go ahead and click on A, B, C, or D. And the A category riders will be 4.0 watts per kilogram or higher. That means you can hold as far as how many watts you can hold divided by the kilograms of body weight that you have. That is a great estimator of what kind of power and fitness you will have in the game. So 4.0 or higher for A's, 3.2 to 4.0 for B's, and for C categories, it's going to be 2.5 to 3.2 ratio, and for D category riders, 2.5 or under. So everybody has somebody to ride against and get an amazing workout. And Todd Naddle is saying, thank God it would make me a G rider. Gotcha, Todd. Johnny Nobbins saying, I'm a low B rider, Todd. The fight is hard and the gain's great no matter what cat you are in. Exactly. And that's what it is all about. So we do have now Bring It All, it looks like, here from the Vikings team with that V in his name, hammering away at about 2.8 watts per kilogram. We're going to leave this front group for just a moment as we get back with the front end of the A category, as they are jumping into Box Hill, which will be the deciding place most likely out on course today. So as you can see here, we do have a 2-second gap here forming between the front end of this group, with Arlaw here trying to chase things down. Wallace is there as well, but as you can see here, that little bit of a gap really does matter. Even though on the uphills it isn't quite as pronounced of a draft, there is still definitely a little bit of a draft on the uphills on Zwift. And so these boys are unable to grab that, and the speeds will come down just a little bit in comparison. And Wallace here, seeing the threat now, starts to make his way past, it looks like, that group. Up into the 5.7 watts per kilogram, 181 beats per minute. There's going to be about a 6 to 6.5 minute climb for the front runners in this, but you can see the gaps are going out. They see that the pressure is on, and Gagne now at 167 beats per minute is trying to make this gap go out a little further now and really make this a deciding moment in the race today. Hughes is there, 5.9 watts per kilogram. Curley now 6.7 as well, coming from Burton. Now Richardson able to hang on just barely. Is he actually on a TT bike? Let's actually talk about the rules, because there's all kinds of different bikes and kits and all kinds of different equipment in game. Let's go ahead and read the rules directly from KISS themselves. So KISS Europe Night Race, they are the race organizers. You can see up in the upper right-hand corner of my screen, KISS Night Road Races. They've been running races out on Zwift for over 2 years, I believe now. Absolutely awesome organization that does a great job of promoting their races and organizing these races. Community organization. A lot of the background from them also runs ZwiftPower.com, where I'm actually reading these rules from, as well as seeing live updates of the races. So power-ups are allowed at all times in this race. So that means that S. Hughes, as he makes his way up toward the top of this climb, if he is able to grab a power-up or has one in reserve that he grabbed prior to the race by going through a start-finish banner, a KOM banner, or a sprint banner, you actually have a little RNG symbol or like Mario Kart symbol up in the upper left-hand corner. If you see where this London Loop course is, if I were on my screen personally, right there would be a little circle. And when you go through a start-finish banner or the KOM banner that they will go through at the top of this hill, it actually cycles through a bunch of different power-ups that you can gain. And the fastest and best one being what I like to call the red turtle shell, but it's actually an arrow power-up. It reduces your drag on your avatar by a massive amount, and you just start flying out on course for about 30 seconds. There's also the feather power-up, since power to weight matters so much, and this ratio of 5-5, as you can see here, is all about what you weigh and how much power you're putting out. You pop that green feather power-up, man, and you gain 1 watt per kilogram on your avatar. Actually, great thing to have on Box Hill at a crucial moment. There is also the drafting power up that's good for racing. If you grab that, you're able to draft at a much less rate of power actually on the other avatars. You also have an experience bonuses that you can grab. I think it's I believe it's 10 and 250, maybe it's 50 and 250, but I believe it's 10 extra experience points and 250 extra experience points. Those go toward unlocking levels, which can then unlock in-game swag as well as kits and bikes and all kinds of other stuff on those levels, as well as little bragging rights until you hit the cap of level 25. Current level cap is level 25. That Tron bike that you're looking at, though, right there with Mr. Ganyan Like a Canyon here, coming from Team ODZ out of Canada. He actually earned that by climbing 50,000 meters in game. So there are some achievements that you can gain by entering into some challenges. And what we call the Tron bike, or the Zwift concept bike, as it's officially called in game, is earned by jumping into the Everesting challenge, where you have to climb Everest way more times than you were expecting after you join the challenge here. Burton, it looks like here, right along with Hughes and Curly, Ganyan, and then Richardson about 4 seconds back here in no man's land on that TT bike. You can use any bike in the KISS races, so he's on the TT bike, but that means he gets no draft. The TT bike does travel faster, as getting in an aero position and using a TT bike in real life is going to make you travel faster against the wind and the elements. But the draft is taken away because it does travel faster. So it's going to be mano a mano for him, man against man for Richardson here, as he is trying to battle against 4v1 right now with a faster bike, but no draft to rest whatsoever out on course today. I'm going to go ahead and take a look through some of the chat coming through here. And Matthew Brewer saying, looks like we've got a tighter race today than expected. This is a decent group that can hang together. Thanks for the comment, Brewer. And I have to agree here. This is going to be a pretty tight race within the A category here. Gagnon, Who's, Curly, Burton, and then Richardson here with 6 seconds back. Maybe we'll close this down and battle it out between them. We'll go ahead and hang on here for just a moment and see what their time is up on the top of Box Hill as they come by the spectators and are going to go underneath the Continental banner for the KOM. And I'm thinking it's probably going to be about 6:15. That's my guess. 6:15 or so. 6:16, 6:16, 6:17. A little bit slower than the crazy, crazy fast front end of the A's sometimes. But I think that they're kind of watching each other just a little bit. 9 seconds back for Richardson. Going to have his work cut out for him as he came through, though, only 5 seconds slower. So lost a little bit of time, though, here on this climb. Now 8 seconds has gone out. And really, he's got to get back on terms right at this next section because the speeds of a group on a downhill are so incredibly intense. Again, don't forget about the reaction polls. What do you think is going to happen here today? We do have a group still breaking away on this climb here. Definitely happening, but we can also call that a bunch. We'll go ahead and go into the next climb and say that the next climb will be the deciding moments for a solo attack up Box Hill, or a bunch sprint if it's all going to stay together, or a breakaway group. What do you think it's going to be? Whether or not it'll be a breakaway group, a bunch sprint, or a solo attack up Box Hill. Looks like we do have some changes here. Solo attack up Box Hill. I have a feeling maybe some predictions there saying Ganyan going to be solo attack up over the top, or maybe Burton. Some of maybe the favorites out here amongst the bunch that are here. But we do definitely have a breakaway group. If they stayed, I don't think we can maybe call it a bunch sprint any longer. Maybe just breakaway group and solo attack up Box Hill. Definitely, of course, that favors these that favors those two. And so I think it's hearts and wows all day long. We think that these 3 or even 2 may stick together. Go ahead and vote over on the reactions on Zwift's Facebook. So right back into the action here with the A's. We do see on the downhill here, they are going away from Richardson, and Curley was dropped off here, 3.5 watts per kilogram for the Australian. Looks like he's going to be in no man's land, thinking about that TT bike, barreling down, trying to catch back up to him at 45 miles per hour right now. 39 coming from Curley. Not sure he is going to be able to hold things off here. Then right back into this C category, actually, we do have them just entering into Box Hill, it looks like. Hughes, though, putting out, I think, over category limits and may have to have an upgrade here pretty soon out of Australia here. 5.1 miles in so far, as you can see. And we're actually getting a little bit of voting here coming from Mr. Jonathan Noblet himself as he's hanging out with the kiddos with the broadcast. It looks like he's hanging out over at the Mixer channel. Bit on ready for Go Zwift Racing. I love the milk in hand for the baby. And he's voting for a solo break, it looks like, while he's also watching over at the Mixer channel. Good to have Johnny hanging out for the live broadcast. And if you'd like to tweet at us your pictures or comments, make sure to do that at Z Community Live and let us know what you think or what your Zwift setup looks like. We'd always love to see those as well. So we do have Nagaya as well as Hughes here in the C category. I think they're a little bit over category limits. We're going to try and hang on with the front end of the race for the correct category limits, as we can look at zwiftpower.com right now and see what kind of power that these boys have put out for the duration of the race. S. Hughes at the front of the... I am seeing, now this is interesting. Are there 2 S. Hughes here? As I've got S. Hughes coming out of Great Britain, as well as S. Hughes coming out of Australia. So we've got double trouble here from both of the racers. Cy Hughes out of the United Kingdom, actually, estimated FTP of, it looks like 306 watts or so. And that is the guy currently up toward the front in that lead group with the A's. And then we also have S. Hughes here coming out of Australia at the front end of the C category. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can grab some of the background information on him, as we're going to have to wait actually for zwiftpower.com to update. It looks like they're not updating until about 10 or 12 kilometers into the race. It'll be just up and over the top of Box Hill here in just a moment. Then we'll be able to see some of the background information as well as how many watts per kilogram these boys have been putting out, because for category limits, now if you are in a C category race and you're watching the broadcast, or you watch the replay of this broadcast and you hear this portion, everybody gets an upgrade up toward the front right now in the C category sometimes, as if you are putting out over an average of 3.2 watts per kilogram, that means you are either a B or an A category rider. So you will be upgraded, but for the results, you will be relegated in ZwiftPower.com, as they will only allow riders who are within category limits to win those races, to keep it fair for all the riders, but for the expectation of the C and D and B and A categories that you just ride within the correct limits, so everybody has the racers to race against. We don't want elites jumping in with sports, etc. So now we do see GVC here now coming out of Canada. Actually, is this our first female rider? It looks like, hammering away, 3.8 watts per kilogram, looking super steady so far. And she's got S. Pratt right on her wheel. She may be able to grab this category right straight up too if she stays within the category limits and is up here with Pratt with the breakaway now, as I think these other boys up toward the front are going to be around a B category since they are putting out 4.0 or higher. So JVC with Pratt here, 3.6, 3.8 are definitely dominating right now with 24 seconds over Greenslade as well as Harcourt. It does look like Noel as well coming out of Canada, and Nietzsche there coming out of the Netherlands, trying to make up the chase here amongst these three. And they might be able to bring that back in. It's 2v3 now with one solo out front there. Greenslade actually trying to break away on his own. I think he may be caught by now, and it'll be four riders trying to bring back JVC as well as Pratt in this C category race today. Back up toward the front with the A category riders, though, as you can see here, it is going to be Burton from the TFC, Gagnon Gagnon, and Richardson able to grab back on, actually. What an effort there on that TT bike from Richardson. Went right on by Curly. And as we were saying, that TT bike is so incredibly fast, and these boys probably looking at each other just a little bit, holding hands a little bit, not working too much, as the flatter sections of the course have a little less motivation to do a whole lot of work unless you are going to attack. Now, we are seeing an aero power up there coming from Hughes. He's going to have a reduction on the drag on his avatar, so he's going to be able to really kick things forward with some speed now, 26 miles per hour, and put a little bit of pressure on it. Looks like Gagnon now 7 meters back, does not have a draft. It's 5 meters for the draft. So as you can see here, Gagnon 6.8 watts per kilogram, having to give a little bit of a kick to back on terms. Richardson still mano a mano with the battle on that TT bike, not going to be able to get that draft. He'll have to put out a solid 4.5 to 5.0 watts per kilogram throughout the duration of the race just to hang on with these boys up toward the front. Has gone back out to 2 seconds now. And really, since there is no draft, it's just going to be all about not letting them get too far away, as sitting in on the wheels is really not going to matter too much today out on course. And we've got Joe Gavin Richardson saying, "Go Gav." And then we've got congrats on the promotion. Mark, what's going on? Happened to me last week. Now living the pain of being a newly Class B rider. Mark Lay is saying over at the Facebook, Zwift Facebook. So that's awesome to hear, though. The pain is only going to make you faster, right? So having other riders around you that can really, really push you is, and even above your ability level, you only get better by riding over your head a lot of times. So, we are seeing Go Curly coming from Matthew Locker here. So 53 seconds back. We'll see if he can hold off. I think right now it's going to be a battle between him and Haggerty and Wallace, who look to be working together to bring Curly back into the fold of that chase group. He's still battling it out for a top 5 position, though, here for M. Curly. It does look like we do have a few who may know M. Curly here. So let's go ahead and take a look at his past results out on Zwift, provided by ZwiftPower.com. Michael Curley coming out of Australia, 30 races, an FTP estimated of 344 watts, 30 races out on Zwift. His last race was in the EVR Europe race on the 16th, actually, a little over 10 days ago, 11 days ago. He got a 4th place. He did the WBR Impact ride, just a chill ride, 2nd place in the sprint, it looks like, though. He did get a 2nd place, though, in the KISS Europe race, this race, back on the 6th of June. So this is definitely a rider to watch out for. 4.0 watts per kilogram, 4.1 or so for the duration of that race. Was also able to win the XRS Hot Rod Classic and the TBR London 8 race back in April. So it does look like he's actually taken a keen interest over the winter in Australia to jump into some more racing, actually, as he's really upped his racing. Let's see here, in just this month of June, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 races, and he's only done about 1 or 2 a month, actually, prior to that. So good to have Michael Curley jumping in here, and good to see people cheering him on in the social media networks there. But he is about a good 46 seconds here, so it's going to be between him, Wallace, and Haggerty here from the KRT team, the KISS Racing team. That is actually the organization that does run these races, and as you can see, the in-game kit here for the KISS Racing team. Let's see if we can get a good shot of it. For those KRT boys, looking solid on the Cervelo S5 there. Actually, one of the 2nd fastest bike in game to the Tron bike. The Cervelo is actually the fastest bike if you were in beta. For those of you who did not know, if you were in beta, there is a solid disc wheel in the back that you can have on as for your back wheel, but it was only available in beta. So Cervelo S5s plus the disc wheel, I'm told, is actually just a little bit faster than the Tron bike. But you got to do a lot of work to grab that Tron bike. 50,000 meters of climbing is absolutely huge. All right, so up toward the front again. They're about to take this right-hand turn. This is one of the key moments out on course here. There's 3 serious climbing points. This one's much more of a kicker, about a 1 minute, maybe not even climb here. But if you throw down 7, 8 watts per kilogram, you can get a gap. And it does look like Burton's maybe trying a little bit of something, or just making sure he's keeping everybody honest and not coming around him too quickly. Now up in the 7 watts per kilogram, though, Burton here from the TFC team, 8 watts per kilogram. Here we go. Halfway through the climb, now really starting to kick it up, getting a little bit of a gap on Richardson. Gagnon there, right along with Hughes, able to hang in to the draft right now. And watching out for Cy Hughes, because this rider took a third in the EVR Europe, won the ZTAS Box Hill Blitz, as well as the ZHR training ride this month. So definitely one to watch out for with Hughes. Burton there from the TFC team. Let's take a look at some of his past results for the Friday Criterium team. 96 races out on Zwift. Has a solid looking racer profile from Strava, also over at ZwiftPower.com. And riding for Team TFC, estimated FTP of 310 watts. And it does look like he took a 14th in the Zwift Fondo, actually. That was a huge ride with a lot of riders. That's a solid result at 4.48 watts per kilogram for the duration of that ride. Huge ride. Primal Europe Friday Criterium took a second place back on the 23rd, as well as a first in the ZHR up and down race. A couple of top 10s in KISS Europe and Primal Europe, the Primal Europe Friday Criterium back on the 16th as well. So definitely a rider to watch out for. I think it's any man's race at this point amongst these boys. So what do you think is going to happen? We've got breakaway group for sure, or is somebody going to get a solo attack up Box Hill and get away from these boys? We've got 4 for the breakaway, so definitely 4 for the breakaway. Make your vote over at Facebook right now. Will it be a breakaway group or a solo attack up Box Hill? Let us know what you think is going to happen by voting through the reaction polls on Zwift's Facebook right now. Back with the C category riders, though, we do have, it looks like, it was Pratt and JVC working really well together, and I can actually get a little bit more information about these riders now as they have come through a few of the checkpoints for ZwiftPower.com to grab their information. It does look like we've got all kinds of over category limit actually going down. JVC here coming out of Canada, one of the lead riders, as well as the lead women rider out on course. 20 races coming out of Canada, 251 estimated to be Jill Vale. Does look like she might ride for Hunter Stinger actually on the MTB. It looks like she's got some solid past results here. A third place here in the B category for the PRS project race. Jumping into a C category race here, though, maybe was thinking that maybe she should be in the C categories more often, but definitely well over 3.0 watts per kilogram for the duration of her races. So going to be getting an upgrade here for JVC. We also do have Pratt there sitting in 2.9 watts per kilogram. Does look like she's been dragging him around course at this point, as I can see the watts per kilogram 4.0 for her. Pratt's been sitting in at 3.3, playing the smart rider, just getting some draft there from JVC now. And then we do have Jay Nietzsche as well as Harcourt, about 3.3, 3.2 there coming from Jay Knoll. So all a little bit over category limits. So C Van Aken actually going to be the first rider there on a strain gauge power meter, it does look like. Right along with Baltimore and Van der Tuin, all within category limits. So this group right here will most likely be those who will not be getting an upgrade for the category today. It does look like we got a couple more votes for a solo attack up Box Hill actually for our reaction polls. So that love button, if you think it's going to be a solo attack up Box Hill, let us know. Who do you think as well? Go ahead and leave a comment right now in the Facebook or over at the chats. Who's it going to be between the front runners in the A category that we are looking at right now, actually? We've got Burton, we've got Richardson, we've got Hughes and Gagne. And Richardson already off the front, actually. So who is it going to be? Are they going to stick together, or is Richardson going to be able to get away here? He's actually already got a gap, but he's on that TT bike. He can't work with these boys. It goes a little bit slower uphill than the bikes that these boys are using. Gagnon there on the Tron bike, the fastest one that's going to be going uphill. Hughes is there as well, 4.2 on that Cervelo S5. So all these bikes go a little faster. They can work together pretty well. Who's going to solo attack? We already got a couple more votes coming in for a solo attack uphill, but who is it going to be? Let me know in chat as well. I am following the chat over at Twitch as well as Mixer and as well as YouTube. Let me know who you think it's going to be. I'll call out your predictions as well for the result here out here today. Let's see if I can bring in the social VMix here real quick. We're seeing Johnny Noblet is saying that it's going to be Canyon. It's going to be Gagnon for the solo attack up and over the top of the climb. Matthew Locker is saying Curly and Hickey are locals to him. That's good to hear. Sweet. They're all skinny. I never complete a race without being dropped in B where I belong, according to my FTP. Alex, a lot of times if you're not right on the upper edge of that category, it definitely can be difficult. But it's all about getting the not the result, but getting the workout by being amongst those other riders and bettering yourself over and over again and getting motivated to become stronger and stronger, definitely, through the riding here. It does look like Richardson now is getting caught up and over the top of Box Hill. As you can see here, Hughes now able to bring him right back into the fold. Gagnon right along with Burton. They're all together now. So we've got 4 up now at this point on this climb. So it does look like we do have a breakaway group that has formed itself, and the solo attack will have to come pretty soon here as they're almost about halfway up. Gagnon, like a canyon, let's see if he can get going here, as that's who Jonathan Noblet thought was going to make it up and over the top of the climb first, perhaps with an attack. There is one other place that they can make it happen, and that is going to be the underground with that super sharp 15-16% gradient or so, maybe 14% gradient up and out of that underground. You could solo attack away from that point. We still have a couple more voting for a solo attack, so somebody thinks that there's going to be someone going off the front here. It is starting to break up again. It does look like Richardson having trouble again, but remember, he brought them all right back in with that TT bike on the downhill hill on the other side here. So with only 1 second difference, Richardson, 6.1, 5.8 watts per kilogram, he may be able to keep them within striking distance, bring them back into the fold then, and then go ahead and sprint right on by them with that extra speed. But so far, it does look to be favoring maybe a bunch sprint unless we have an attack pretty soon here. Hughes and Gagnon now, seeing that they're coming back, that Richardson's coming back, maybe not wanting him to be along, did kick it into a 5 or 6 for a moment. Now starting to settle down a little bit, right back into that 5.4. 175 beats per minute here coming from Hughes. Burton there, 185. Gagnon right one in the 173. Richardson, 167 or so. If we go ahead and look at the max heart rates from these riders, we can actually tell you exactly what kind of effort that they can put out. And I am seeing 191 beats per minute for Cy Hughes as his max heart rate. So he's got a little bit more to work with, definitely up into a threshold, even into a VO2 max at this point. A lot of pain going to be happening in those legs right now. Here comes the attacks now, starting up. Gagnon now trying to follow, now going right on by, 8.3 watts per kilogram, halfway up Box Hill now. This is the most crucial moments in the race. This is where they're going to get good gaps on Richardson, who's on that TT bike as well, if they want to try and hold off that chase from that Mr. Tri-Man there hammering away. Gagnon also a super high-end triathlete actually coming out of Canada, so he's going to have a solid, steady effort for sure. But we do see Burton here, 187 beats per minute. Let's go ahead and see what kind of max heart rate that Burton deals with and whether or not he's got anything more to work with, because at 187 beats per minute, he's got to be getting pretty close to his max at this point. We are seeing 190s, I believe, right around 198. Actually, he's got quite a bit to work with. Well, not quite a bit. He's actually over the top of threshold at this point, getting into a VO2 max. When I say VO2 max, what you can handle for about 3 to maybe 5 minutes, and an all-out just done for the day would be 10 minutes at that kind of an effort. So Burton here definitely going into the red to try and chase down Gagnon, but here goes Gagnon, and you boys and girls who predicted that solo attack breakaway, will he be able to hold this off? Let us know if you think so. It's 4 seconds at this point. Hit that heart if you think for a vote for the solo attack. We've got 9 votes for solo attack. Bunch sprint obviously not happening at this point any longer. Looks like breakaway group might be fading at this point as a favorite to make it happen, but 5 votes for that so far. Will they bring it back together? Breakaway group would count as about 2 to 3 riders still. So if Hughes can get back on terms with Gagnon, it will be a breakaway group at this point. But it does look a couple more votes here for the solo attack up and over the top of Box Hill with those hearts coming through. So Burton here, 5.4. and almost right back on turns. But as we said, he only had maybe 10 beats to work with, and he only saw 200 beats per minute one time actually, way back on November 28th, 2016 is the last time he saw 200 beats per minute. 198, 198, 198, all in the last few months on April as well as May. But as of recently, we have not seen anything much higher than the 190s. So Burton definitely getting put into the hurt locker at this point with 5 seconds difference between Gagnon and Hughes. But it looks like Gagnon now caught by Hughes. Will there be a solo breakaway? It doesn't look like at this point. Breakaway group still with Gagnon and Hughes now. ODZ now, we'll give him a ride on as they're really starting to turn the screws at the front end of the race. Hughes and Gagnon now up front. And as you can see, that little ride on came over to the top of the head. You can give encouragements in-game through the Zwift mobile link. Go ahead and make it rain right now on these boys and girls who are out there racing, and we'll be able to see your ride-ons drop right in front of their, or on top of their avatars there out on course. Or you can go ahead and log in game and find them and click the ride-on next to the name like I did. But Burton off the back now. Richardson now, it's going to be 25 seconds between him and Burton. That's going to be the battle for third place because this TT bike, without anybody to draft on, Burton's definitely going to have a struggle, I think, to hold these boys off out on course now. Back in with the C category riders up toward the front now of the riders that are a part of the race that is still, as we could say, within category limits. There's actually a huge contingency of them. Baltimore right around with Greenslade. We got a little bit of attack, 309 watts or so, gaining about 2 seconds here for Baltimore out of Great Britain. Pratt and JVC still 55 seconds up, and it does look like they will be holding off for the win. And we'll cover them a little bit, but I think they are definitely getting an upgrade into the B category today. It will be a 4-second gap though between Baltimore out of Great Britain with Van Aken here trying to make the chase right now, coming out of Germany there with Harcourt there, as well as Greenslade out of the Australia, the land down under. We do have the Netherlands here represented by Van der Turn and Nietz there, and K Bonesaw hammering away out of the USA actually. 2.7 watts per kilogram, trying to chase things back down. So this is the C category now, working its way out here. 147 beats per minute, looking pretty chill. It is Grupo Compacto here, it looks like. No hurry monitors for you, the riders. You do need to have a hurry monitor, though, in order to get a category win, I believe. I'll double check the rules here real quickly. And it does say that, please note, Strava data for KISS races must be open, not private or hidden. Z-Power riders averaging watts per kilogram over the duration of race greater than 3.99 watts per kilogram will not be eligible for CAT or race wins. Riders producing over 5 watts per kilogram will be DQ'd. They can be reinstated if real-life matching performance are provided. Heart rate monitor is required for A racers. Excuse me. So for the C racers, it is not as much of a concern. So they will be able to win these categories here without the heart rate monitor today. I'll give Baltimore a quick little ride on here. Greenslade as well. But he is off the front with 5 seconds, and he's definitely throwing his chips on the table at this point, all in, prior to Box Hill Climb now, as these C category riders are coming into their next deciding moment out on course. So right back in with the front end of the race now, as they are on the downhill. Burton here trying to hold off the freight train of Gavin Richardson, 4.5 or 4.4 watts per kilogram, a little bit here and there coming from Richardson, about 155 beats per minute. But Burton here, 176. Heart rate has dropped down from that 190 here, but it's going to be Gagnon and Hughes. Hughes sitting in now at this point and allowing Gagnon to take the brunt of the work and just getting a draft here. It's going to be Hughes. Gagnon's only thinking about, it looks like, holding off Burton and wanting it just to be a 2-up sprint. Maybe pretty confident in his ability to take the sprint from these other riders. And Jamie's saying, holy, that major efforts. That's right, Jamie. Huge efforts. Congrats all from John Yeboah, and we are saying all are very good. Hard to say. Just enjoy and eating dried figs. Sassos is saying, I love figs, man. Good stuff, dude. Always a go-to, especially when I'm traveling. Had a ton of them over in Iceland just now. So now we are seeing, it looks like Hughes with a little bit of attack, 6.4 watts per kilogram, getting a little bit of a gap now. Maybe be able to get away. We'll see what happens now. Gavin can catch Burton and company and bring them back, Rogers is saying, So we'll see. And Metalhead saying Tron and laughing there over at the Mixer channel. Burton trying to get the just below orange to try and sneakily get away. A little bit earlier, it sounds like Rogers was predicting there. Let's look at we got Kevin Steven as well as Jaguar TFC. A whole lot over at the Twitch and Mixer channels. Welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for joining up with us, everybody. And we do have Hughes now. This is the last chance for that solo breakaway. We may have a breakaway group here unless somebody breaks away at this point, actually. So Hughes now 7.7 watts per kilogram right along with Gagnon. Nothing happening just yet. So I think that was the chance there for a breakaway. So it looks like it will be, or a solo attack now up Box Hill. And so it looks like it is a breakaway. Well, that was a chance up Box Hill, excuse me, quite a while ago. So it will be Hughes and Gagnon now with this group, and Burton trying to chase things down. Richardson was able to get back on terms with him. Poor Burton up against that TT bike, just hammering away all day long. He's only got 2 seconds. His smartest move maybe at this point is to sit in on a draft, since Richardson cannot draft him, and force Richardson to take the brunt of the work, as the draft just will not work for Richardson. So Burton is probably not going to be able to hold off that 2 seconds, as he has to put out a huge amount of effort compared to what Richardson does on that TT bike. Now we're coming down to it. It's the last K or so between Hughes and Gagnon, the Canadian versus the British rider here. Gagnon now backing off the 3.6 watts per kilogram, 181 beats per minute, really up there in the heart rate right now, has put out a lot of effort, as you can see how incredibly high right now the heart rate is coming from Gagnon. Hughes looking like he's right up into that 180s as well. Both of them right on the rivet here, and here comes a sprint from already way out. 7.9 watts per kilogram here now, 488 watts, 101 RPMs, and there goes Gagnon. Now he's got the aero power up. Hughes has got no power up. Up into that orange numbers, 9 watts per kilogram. Looks like the game is set now at this point. Look at the gap open up. Hughes has nothing to respond as the turtle shells have been thrown. Red turtle shells spinning all over the place. There goes Hughes off the back, and it will be Gagnon for Team ODZ with the win in the A category today. 3 seconds up from Hughes. It's going to be GG, and Gagnon takes the W, followed by now Burton here opening it up against Richardson. Richardson on that TT bike cannot grab that draft, and Burton going from way out. We see 8 watts per kilogram here, maybe be able to hold off Richardson. Richardson on the TT bike. I think this is going to come right to the line, as that TT bike is going to have a little bit more speed on the downhill, but it's Burton with more watts per kilogram to give all the way to the line, holds it off. 195 beats per minute, 96. Man, definitely huge efforts going in right here. Richardson's going to take fourth on the day. Moving our way back here, let's see if we can find the rest of the riders. As you can see, they left the event now, and now we are in the MMO world with the rest of the riders who are out on course. As you can see, the events do call the rest of the riders from your view, so you do not see them. Now, we do have S. Gregory here, a part of the D category, finishing up his lap in the D race. Right back into the Bs and the Cs now, as we can see here. Let's head back toward the front of the A's, as we do have Jay Haggerty here, right along with Wallace, battling it out for that 5th place out on course that we were talking about. Now, another little kick here coming from Wallace, 7 watts per kilogram. Haggerty trying to hang on. He does have a draft at 3 meters here. We do see Curly about 105 back from these two. He was caught, and they went right on by him here. 6.5 watts per kilogram here coming from Wallace, though, out of Great Britain now. Haggerty 4.0 just hanging in. Wallace 190 beats per minute. Looks like he may put out a little bit too much too early, as the KRT boy just playing it really smart with 4.7 or so watts per kilogram. He's got 174, and I think Wallace is right up into the max of his effort now, just trying to make it real hard, but I think Haggerty playing it smart, and we'll see a kick from him in this last 500 meters any second now. Wallace, one more kick though, up and out of the saddle over and over again, but Haggerty waiting for his moment, it looks like, to pounce. And it's going to be in this last 200. It doesn't look like Haggerty's going, though. 7 watts per kilogram. He's really waiting a long time here to make this happen at this point. And Wallace here holding him off. Does Haggerty have a kick? It doesn't look like it. This is waiting way too long, and maybe just playing the nice card there. And it's right at the line. He waited. Oh, my goodness. He just nipped it. And maybe that's what he needed to do, as there might not have been a whole lot left in the tank. Poor Wallace just nipped right at the line, it looked like there, with Haggerty taking that 5th place. And 6th, going to Wallace. I believe from Innovation, it wasn't in his name, but definitely had a innovation kit on. What a huge result there for all the riders, though. Looking back over at the chat here, coming through at the Facebook, 190 strong heart rate. Yeah, definitely saw. So Steven Masterson clapping for the riders. Awesome finish, says Moshi Bustler. And yeah, it's been an amazing race so far for the A's. We can see here for this group, we had those who voted for a breakaway group. You got the correct answer there with the wows there on your reactions. So congratulations to you guys on the correct voting there. Out there, Curly just crossed the line in 7th place. Looks like Vision there with Fleetwood and McIntosh. Fleetwood getting the better of McIntosh, I believe, in the top 10. We've got R. Jones. Not sure he's actually part of the race, but Kiff now just about to cross the line. So solo attacks not happening. A lot of people wanted to see Gagnon, I think, get away here with that vote, but it was a breakaway group. Gagnon still got it looks like, but definitely was a breakaway group rather than a solo attack up over the top of Box Hill. R. Law for PTZ crossing the line, followed by A. Young. And then we do have I. Woodcock here out of Great Britain, followed by Jay Farron in this A category. We'll go ahead and give them all some ride-ons. And Team TFC says, well done to Matthew Burton over at the Twitter here. Tagged us over at this. Team TFC does have an account over at Twitter. Go ahead and throw them a follow. They do organize a few rides and races out on Zwift. We will be covering actually their TFC Friday Criterium actually on Friday. So make sure to tune in for that Friday 1 p.m. CST Central Standard Time. But he says, well done. They're saying well done to Matthew Burton, their team. Rider and the Kiss Road Race goes with for the podium. That's with Community Live. Team TFC, the Sprinters team. Go TFC, go. Yeah, they definitely are the Sprinters team. Always a strong sprint to be watching out for them out on course. It does look like we are, somewhere. Kind of odd there for a second. Does look like B. Fritz here in the B category. Nice that the culling does not eliminate all of the riders completely from the course. There are different ways that you can do it. It looks like Kiss has chose to make it so that we can see the other categories out on course here. Fritz, it looks like here, 4.4 watts per kilogram with Kwiatek now coming out of Poland trying to chase him down, but it's not going to happen. It looks like we are going to have our winner here in the B category coming out of Germany with Fritz, followed closely by Kwiatek, all broken up, no bunch sprint here at the finish line as Bachelor is going to be bringing it in solo, trying to chase down Kwiatek, but not going to happen. It looks like 169 beats per minute. 600 watts, 8.4 watts per kilogram. He might be able to catch him actually, Bachelor here, but it's going to be Alvelsberg, the Viking here, coming on at 6.1 watts per kilogram with the aero power up. Fritz, it maybe, if it was just a couple extra seconds, would be in danger as the Viking is absolutely flying. You see the battle there in the background. Will be Fritz for the win, but it will be Alvelsberg cross the line next for second place with that aero power up, going right on past the Polish rider here, Kwiatek, followed by a Bachelor in 4th place. Jay Rich from the KRT team now looking for 5th place, but Osbald Dustin out of the UK may have something to say about right along with Galertz out of Belgium, riding for that TKBE team. 3-up sprint now for that 5th position right now. We do see Jay Rich from KRT leading things out on that Tron bike. Who's going to jump first? It looks like Rich now 6.7 watts per kilogram. Just a little bit of a jump there. Seeing who's going to follow. Now 9 watts per kilogram. Then fades it once more though. With that kick though, will he be able to hold these boys off? It looks like it's going to happen. They got the jump on. Gaylord's not going to happen. Rich had 10 to give, 13 to give, and that will be 5th and 6th place out there today. Back to the rest of the B riders. Let's see who else we can find here as they make their way to the line. We do have the top 10 still making their way in. Garrido here, 4.2 watts per kilogram coming across the line. It looks like in 7th place or so. James Maloney says, these guys are beasts. Wish I could pump out watts like that. Luke Peterson said, thanks for turning me on to Zwift. This 42-year-old guy got the first sports award in my life last weekend at the Wars Firecracker. No problem there. That's an awesome story, actually. Luke Peterson's been tuning into the broadcasts, actually, that we've been doing for the racing, as well as some of the broadcasts that we are doing on some of our personal channels. And I've been getting turned on to Zwift riding and racing. And it looks like he was able to grab a podium at, I think you guys had quite a rainy race, at least the elites did, at the Wars Firecracker over in Eau Claire. So congratulations on your podium in the sport category this past weekend, Luke, and good to see that Zwift was helping you grab that real life result. So Johansson here with Chunky, right along with Blasco. 3-up sprint now, coming in for the top 10 still. Johansson here out of Norway with Chunky. And WBR, is this an XRS rider? WBR, TFC, it looks like he's just riding everything. And Chunky now, when maybe a WP Taz kit, they have adopted that, but there's a couple of different, I mean, it's obviously just an in-game kit, but maybe. As Chunky's going to be able to get the better of these boys in the sprint with Blasco. Oh, maybe not. A little bit of a kick there. Chunky just barely held it off there. Whew, that was so close. Blasco then followed by Johansson coming out of Norway. What an effort there from the riders. It looks like Robinson from the BRT team getting in a workout. Speaking of workouts, we are going to be starting adding some workout streams here pretty soon to the rides. So if you'd like to join in with those, we do have group rides though. Zuskana. This Friday with the Women's Gateway ride does run somewhat of a workout ride as well. So make sure to be watching out for that. 9 p.m. Mountain Time, 10 p.m. CST, actually. So that'll be up soon, coming up this Friday as well. Thursday, we'll have a rerun almost of everything that we had today except for the E-Crit series. So if you haven't done so already, make sure to hit those follow buttons at all the places. Zwift Community Live is where we are live most of the time. We are live right now on Zwift's Facebook, but Zwift Community Live, official community partner with Zwift. And we do broadcasting on Mixer, Twitch, as well as all of our live stuff on YouTube, as well as replays. And then we do also broadcast on our Zwift Community Live channel or Zwift's Facebook for some of these broadcasts. So moving back now, let's go ahead and see if we can find the front end of the C category. I think the battle here is happening up and over the top of Box Hill. And we are seeing great race days. We do see Matthew Burton here sending a little bit of a tweet over as we are watching the front end of the C category. It does look like Bottomore here along with Nietzsche and Vandertoon. Now it looks like Bottomore is going to be able to get a little bit of a gap here as he's been on the attack for quite a while. But Greenslade here actually and Kay Bonesaw along as Van Aken, they had saved up quite a bit, and now we're at the front end of this race here. They actually caught a few of these other riders, and I think they actually conserved enough to make the attacks on the later end of the race here. But Matthew Burton here from the Team TFC is saying, cheers, chaps, over at Twitter. A lot of good conversation there going on, it looks like, about his results. So we are seeing here, Rogers is saying, I will be doing my Everest workout on Friday from 5:30 p.m. for a few hours as well. So I think Rogers will be streaming over at Mixer, I believe he streams on. Dashboard stream at the moment over on, is that on Xbox? Is this actually streaming on Xbox? That'd be pretty cool if it was. So Van Aken here out of Germany here, 2.6 watts per kilogram, sitting in tightly, getting a little bit of a draft on Kay Boson coming out of the USA. International field here. Looks like almost every time zone here represented for each of the major areas, as Greenslade here coming out of Australia from the land down under. So we've got the Far East area over there, land down under. Then we also have, it looks like, sitting over in Europe there, Van Aken battling it out over another huge expanse of sea and land. And then over another Atlantic Ocean there, Kay Bonesaw here sitting in as well. So 3 continents and 3 riders battling it out for the front end of the C category race. Absolutely awesome. And congratulations on your WoW win, Nathan Epic. Thank you so much, John R. We did it together. Zwift and the CCP team absolutely buried ourselves. We ended ourselves, as a lot of the UK guys kept on saying, to make it happen. And it was a amazing battle between us at the end, but it was a great teamwork all the way up till that last hour, and then it was the gloves off and have lots of fun killing each other to the line, and it was the most epic thing I've ever done. By far. And if you'd like to check out the Zwiftcast, that's a great place to hear all the live updates that we did with Simon Schofield on Zwiftcast. The latest episode has all that, as well as a lot of announcements about the Zwift Academy. We're running a couple, if you like more information about Zwift Academy, we've got a couple promo videos. As soon as this race is over, we'll throw a rollout here of some promo videos for some group rides that you can join, as well as how to get involved with Zwift Academy for all of the women out there that are looking to better themselves through the power of bicycles, as well as they are giving away a pro contract again at the end of the year for the Canyon Tram Racing team. So if you have some high hopes for that, or you just want to push yourself amongst a group of women who are looking to challenge themselves out on Zwift together, there's group rides, workouts to complete, a full workout program. Definitely a cool thing to get involved with. And Roger's saying we'll tweet out in a few minutes. Sounds good. Rogers, need to send me a link to September ride, bud. So looks like people are organizing some rides as well as live streams out on Zwift. If you are going to start live streaming out on Zwift, make sure to contact us, as we do curate a lot of content. And we like to bring in content creators to Zwift Community Live, as well as promote anybody out there who is looking to stream on Mixer, Twitch, specifically a lot of times. Well done. Good job, man. Appreciate it, Kev Steven, over at the Twitch channel. Really appreciate your comments. Jonathan Noblet is saying, Greenslade, good sprint last Thursday's Kiss. Okay, good to hear. Good to hear. So it looks like Greenslade might be one to watch out for. How will group workout work as different weights and power? There will be, it'll be more about your personal effort and you getting run through a workout, and with enough people within the group, people will find others that are around their ability level. I've run it before. Say S6 Pito says he's watching it. Watch out, I'm driving. All right, man, sounds good. Over at the Twitch channel. But I've run workouts before live, actually, through a Discord channel. It is live, and you are able to follow along with the live stream, and the person running through the group workout with you then just tells you what to do at certain times. It tends to be workouts that do regroup, though. So there's a rest period, then an interval, a rest period, then an interval, and those who are around your ability level then end up pushing you through the workout. But definitely jump into a Discord, learn how to use Discord on your computer, at least to get the audio coming through from the leader of the workout. Definitely jump into a ride with Zuskana, maybe for the women out there, and we will be launching a few more in the next week or two here for some awesome workouts with some coaches, actually. So watch out for that. Greenslade right along with Van Aken here, and K Bonesaw now. This is the battle here right to the line. We were told Greenslade's got a solid effort to the line. He's already using an arrow drafting power up, and that's actually a smart move in case anybody does come around him. He's got 6.5 watts per kilogram to give. Looks like C. Van Aken not going to even respond, and he's going to battle it out with JVC. JVC actually backing off. She was way out the front, has been caught here, and looks like Greenslade going to be taking the W amongst these boys here. We'll have to wait for official results after the race, but Van Aken here followed by JVC, and then it will be Bonesaw or fourth place amongst that group in the C category. It does look like Van der Tuin here, next one to get across the line. We'll see if you can hold off though Northcote, as we do have Jay Neitz here now as well, hanging on to the wheel. So Neitz here, a couple of men coming out of the Netherlands. The Dutchmen here are going to be battling it up against the man out of the Great Britain here. And see if we can do it for Queen and Country, or if Neitz and Van der Tuin are going to get the better of him here. All the way to the line will be Neitz here. 4.7 watts per kilogram, 6.2, 5.9, a little bit off the back. Is he going to be able to close it down? Northcote's got huge watts, though, 544, 179 beats per minute. Neitz unable to make it happen, it looks like, here in the final case. We'll give him a ride on, but Northcote here with a little kick gets to the line first in this C category 4, somewhere in the top 10, I believe. So solid efforts there for all the riders. Let's go ahead as we finish up here Make sure to, we can look at what the polls say. Looks like somebody took away their solo attack up Box Hill. They're like, oh, guess not, and took away the solo attack vote up Box Hill. I absolutely love it. Bunch sprint and the breakaway. Looks like that was looks like our access token, though, maybe expired, so no longer having the reaction poll up there anyways. But nice work to the C guys. Matthew Locker is sane. Let's go ahead and take a quick little look at the results before we take off. Again, I'm Nathan Garrett from Zwift Community Live. If you haven't hit that follow button yet at all the places that we are live, make sure to do so for more of the broadcast of all things in the Zwift community. So for the results, we have Asai Hughes with 4.9 watts per kilogram, followed by Matthew Burton and then Gavin Richardson. That's the preliminary results for the top three in the A category. B category was Bernard Fitz, followed by Pierre Vidar Alvesberg for those Vikings, followed by Wojtek, I believe, probably demolished that one out of Poland. A couple of upgrades there in the B category. Watch out at the front end, boys and girls. You'll most likely get some upgrades to the A category. Solid job, though, and congratulations on your upgrade and getting faster and faster. Simon Hughes with 3.9 watts per kilogram in the C category gets an upgrade, as well as Hyde King Nagaya in 4.6 into the A category. Stuart Burgess there coming out of Great Britain, 3.7, as well as Will Cannon, 4.0. Sam Pratt right on the edge with 3.2, as well as Ben Greensdale. So Klaus Van Aken, first one within the category limits. We'll leave it up to the race organizers, though, to decide. I'll go ahead and say Sam Pratt, followed by Ben Greensdale, and then Klaus Van Aken. The first woman across the line was Jill Vale, but she's going to get an upgrade into the B category. Nice job to her, though. Definitely out on course. All right, so if you got any questions or comments, make sure to bring them my way right now because we're about to get into the end of the broadcast. Jaguar Team TFC is saying, great broadcast tonight. No problem, man. Thanks for tuning in. Again, this is Massive Multiplayer Online, Zwift Racing and Riding, brought to you by Zwift Community Live. And if you're looking for more of these broadcasts, make sure to head on over to ZwiftCommunityLive.com. You can find all of our places there, as well as our Twitter, our Periscope, as well all of the social medias, etc. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks a lot to all of the racers for showing up. Great job out there to all the racers as always. Next up on Zwift Community Live will be the Kiss Down Under race, I believe, followed up by the Racer Focus with Ian Anderson. Then we will have Kiss Europe as well on Thursday. That's all happening on Thursday. And then we will also have Zuskana's ride on Friday. There's going to be more of Ian added to the schedule. We always have our schedule live and updated on ZwiftCommunityLive.com, as well as on our Facebook pinned at the top if you're looking for all of our broadcasts. If you'd like to get involved in broadcasting or would like to start streaming on any streaming platform, please contact us through our Facebook or Facebook's mainly the place, or else Twitter, and we'll get back to you about getting you into at least some sort of a promotions of your streams of Zwift. So how's Lindsay? Moby's asking. Thanks a lot for asking. She's getting much better. If you guys didn't know, Lindsay did have a concussion recently in a race in the Wars series, and she is getting better and better every day. Definitely thanks a lot for asking. And it's definitely on the mend. A little bit loopy still, but on the mend for sure. All right, again, thanks everybody for tuning in. Great job to all the racers. And as always, ride on.
Last year, Zwift Academy opened its doors, launching a groundbreaking worldwide talent search to find the next pro rider for Canyon SRAM racing. The competition exceeded all expectation. Over 1,200 women from 51 countries signed up to take the challenge in Zwift. In a truly grand finale, on the island of Majorca at Canyon SRAM's training camp, Leah Thorvaldsen of Little Rock, Arkansas, was crowned 2016 Zwift Academy champion and the newest member of Canyon SRAM Racing. This year, it could be you.
oh wow, I could have a shot at a pro contract, but it's for anyone. It's a huge step forward in your own fitness, and so it's not all just about the one person who's going to get a pro contract. It's a win for everyone who's involved.
Zwift Academy is this great program where Zwift is trying to get the women more involved. It's just this huge, to me, a great community. There's women coming up going, I get how this could fit into my life.
What I think is so nice about Zwift Academy, I really think that it was inspiring lots of women to take part in this adventure. Maybe they've gone far beyond their own expectations.
How far I got in Zwift, there were 1,200 females that joined, and there were 100 females that finished Zwift, and I can't believe I was one of them.
Yes, it's hard. Come on, you can do it, you know, just do your best. Because it's not just the physical side, it's the determination and to boost your confidence in anything else you do, not just cycling.
Find out how strong you really are. Find new friends from around the world. Find out if you have what it takes to go pro.
Do not wait, just follow your dreams.
Be the best cyclist you can be. Head over to academy.zwift.com to find out more and sign up today.
Here he backs it off, sits in that slipstream. Looks like we've got Dana and Ockerby here in together. So I reckon there's going to be a bit of shake and bake here.
1 kilometer to go. Actually, 600 meters to go. It's stretched out. Everyone is still in this group. Pat Shaw is heading up the front now. 7 watts. He's popping an early power up. He has got the legs. He's feeling good. And he is going with about 500 meters to go. Pat Shaw, 13 watts per kilo. Aero power up being popped. He's got to keep behind Anthony Vegan Porsche, Ockerby, and everyone else. Can he do it? Here goes Pat Shaw, but we're looking further behind. The pace is through the roof. Here comes Aaron Dunn on the right side. He's got 3 seconds up to Pat Shaw, but Pat Shaw is nearing that finish line. But as we look over the shoulders, the riders are coming back. It's going to be on the line, as it's going to be Pat Shaw taking it. Woo. Pat Shaw, where's his wheels? Aaron Dunn.
Nice work. Nice work there, Patty. So